Hello again! This is our last video for this week. We are going to be working with homework pages 571 and 577. We're going to start with our problem of the day about money. Pete saved a dime each day for 4 days. Used the table to find the total amount he had saved after each day. So on our table, we can write down day 1. He would have 1 dime, 10 cents. Day 2 would be another 10, so 20 cents. Day 3 would be 30 cents. And day 4 would be 40 cents. Hopefully that's what you figured out. We can use tables like this to help see the growing patterns of the money. We're going to skip this one. We're going to talk today about line graphs or line plots. And these ones are a little bit confusing sometimes. So a line plot uses a number line like this one to be able to put points or data onto it. Okay, so let's look at how that's done. A survey is conducted to find the number of states visited. Use the tally chart to make our line plot. So we're going to look over here. We have the states visited, so 1 state corresponds to this one right here. 2 states, 3 states, 4 states, 5 states, 6 states. So this would be states visited. Oh, I have to get my writing tool again. So the numbers here are the states. And there we go. So I'm going to look and I'm going to see my tally marks. When I do a line plot, each tally mark is represented by an X on our line plot. So above the number 1, I'm going to make 5 X's. So there's 1 and 2, 3, almost 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to do that for each one of those. So in order for it not to take quite as long, we're going to look at theirs that they did. So you can see each one of these numbers has the tally marks X'd on top of it. So if I look at the number of states 5, I come over to 5 and I can see the 2 X's. Okay. So let's look at this one. Mrs. Garrett asked 16 students how many times they visited the museum. 4 students had not been to the museum. 3 students have been 1 time, 2 have been 3, 5 have been 6, and the rest of the students have been 7. So to set this up, I am actually going to make a table to help me after I get my writing tool. So it said, so we need to have 0. These are the times that they've gone, or how many students have gone that many times. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and way down there, 7 times. So we need to make sure that our total adds up to 16. 4 have not been at all. So 0 is going to get 4 X's. And I'm just going to put those on there right now. And the 4th one. 3 students have been 1 time. So 1 time gets 3 marks. 2 and 3. 2 students have been 3 times, so I skip the 2, I come to the 3 times, and said 2 students have gone 3 times, and 5 students have been 6 times, so down for 6, I have 5 students. So on 6, I have my 5. 3, 4, and those are really small, 5. The rest of the students have been 7 times. So the rest of the students I have to figure out by adding these up. So I have 4 plus 3 is 7, 2 more would make 9, and 9 plus 5 is 14. So my 14 is the total of these numbers, and I have to get to 16. So 16, take away the 14 that I already counted, leaves me with just 2. So on these ones where they're story problems, it's good to kind of pull the information out, draw it onto the side before you try to make your graph, or do it at the same time kind of like I did. So let's take a look at how we can use this for reading these plots. So this is one that's already done. So on this one, I have to think about how these numbers are. And this is where it's a little trickier. So on this one, if I was saying this is the number of pets people have, this would be 0 pets, 1 pet, 2 pets, 3 pets, 4 pets, and 5 pets. So I would say, well, I can look here, and a question that comes to my mind is, how many people have 5 pets? The answer there would be 0 because there aren't any X's. So let's look at this one to answer our questions. This is a study done on the number of deer, and the data is shown here in our line plot. So we have to use that to answer a question. So it says which number has the most X's, or which one was seen the most. So we had our 2 has the most, so I would write 2 here, except I don't have my writing tool yet. There we go, right here. How many times were 3 deer seen? Okay, well I would go to 3, oh, yes, okay, 3 deer. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4 times. How many times were 7 deer seen? Was only 1 time. And how many times were 5 deer seen? So I would come to 5 and oh, look at that, they didn't see 5 anytime, so I put a 0. Let's go ahead and look at the next one. Okay, so there we go, we had 2, 4. We're answering this one, sorry, 4, 1, and 0. I'm going to skip over that one. So in your homework today, you are going to need to know how to read our line plots, okay? So you can use data from a line plot to answer our questions. This line plot shows the number of students in each class at a school. So if I look along my number line, these are the number of students. And these are how many classes have that number in them. So how many students are in most of the classes? Well, the one with the biggest number is, the most X's is number 21. So as you read through, as you go through your homework today, think about what it is that it's telling us. So the title, the number of hats, is going to tell us what these numbers down here represent. Okay, I think that's one of the most confusing points of these. So just make sure that you remember the label is telling me these numbers here on our number line. Good luck, and let me know if you're not sure about those. Also, Khan Academy has videos you can watch to help understand them a little more too.